What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ready, Set, Replay, the ultimate video game replay podcast. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend Skyler.
I'm back.
And today we're going to be talking about Dead or Alive 2, the first fighting game of this series. And it's
First fighting game.
going to be real interesting. We're definitely very knowledgeable and intelligent about fighting games. It's going to be great.
You know, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
What's your history with fighting games?
I've played a lot of them and enjoyed very few, if any.
Woohoo! Are you good at them?
No, I wouldn't say so. Like I can finish the story modes of fighting games pretty easily most of the time, but if I went online, I'd get bodied so fast I'd wouldn't even bother.
But if a friend of yours that say buys every fighting game when they come out came over and was like, "Let's play this."
No.
How many matchups are you winning against them?
0.
Okay.
Yeah, this is also true for Smash Brothers. But Skyler, before we talk too much about fighting games and how much we're terrible at them, we got to do that thing.
Oh,
we got to get in there. We got to get back into the 2000s. Don't say it.
I'm not already there. I have to prepare.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I have to enter the Mind Palace.
Today, our Mind Palace looks like a Pizza Hut that you're dining inside.
Oh, I've been in one of those.
I don't know if they still exist as places you can go to eat. If so, they're probably gross now.
I'm sure. Well, actually, wait. Didn't Pizza Hut? They announced somewhat recently that we're bringing back the dine-in Pizza Huts with the salad buffets. We're bringing them back.
Bro, hell yeah! If they open one near us, we're going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd go.
We're not gonna go a lot, but we're gonna go.
No.
At least once.
Yeah. We would try it. We would try it once. But Pizza Hut, that ain't the Pizza Hut chain in 2025. If you're doing fast food pizza, which I mean, always go more legitimate pizza if you can, but if you're doing fast food pizza, it's not Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't order enough pizza to have a strong opinion about it.
Now we've finally found my expertise.
We found your expertise.
We found my field that I was
think the one I've ordered most recently was Papa John's, and that's pretty good. I'd get that again. I wasn't blown away by it, but I'd get it again.
The fast food pizza that I end up ordering more often than not is Domino's, and that is simply because it is 2 blocks from my house.
So is the Caesars, but you ain't going there.
You're right. I'm not.
All right, so we're sitting in this Pizza Hut that may or may not exist also in 2025. Hard to say. Impossible to know. Certainly not a Google away. Here's what's happening in the world of film. Are you ready?
Hit me.
So we actually have quite a bit of time between The Sims and this. The Sims came out on February 4th, and this is February 29th. So we have basically a whole month of things that have happened between the two. Here are some of the movies that have come out. Weirdly, these are some of the bigger ones in terms of ones that still get talked about today, 2 of them, and then one of them has an unrelated thing. We'll get into it. On the 25th, Reindeer Games was released. Are you familiar with Reindeer Games?
I am familiar with it, but I've never seen it.
So it is Ben Affleck and Charlize Theron, and Ben Affleck gets out of jail, and his cellmate has died, but he had a pen pal girlfriend, and so he pretends to be his cellmate so that he can hook up with that girlfriend. And then somehow they get wrapped up in doing a casino heist. I
believe people do not like this film.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those ones where I hear people talking about it a lot, but it's not necessarily in good ways. Then we have by far the smallest movie that we're going to be talking about here, but one that has an interesting thing, is there was a movie on the 28th called Boiler Room. Have you heard about this? Do you know about this? It's nothing. It's a nothing movie. It does also feature Ben Affleck and Vin Diesel in leading roles.
Ben Affleck in 2000. He's everywhere.
Apparently so. It is a movie about people who are creating a fake company to sell fake stock for different fake companies to make money.
Ooh, starring Giovanni Ribisi.
What it is, it's fun fact that is the reason why I have decided to bring it up here, is that it is also the film debut of Anson Mount.
Oh, Black Bolt? Blackagar Boltagon?
I was thinking more big Batman fan casting, and also, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but yeah.
No. He's Blackagar Boltagon,
But
and that's
everyone
something
shut
he
up.
has to carry for the rest of his life.
But everyone shut your ass. Shut your ass and all of your holes, close them now. Because on the exact day that this game came out, what movie came out? You can't answer because all your holes are shut. That's right. It's the extremely goofy movie.
There we go.
There we go, baby.
I'm a yearning for some learning.
It's I mean, I don't really have a lot of facts about this movie. It's just a good ass movie.
Other than it's great.
It's a good ass movie. Hell yeah.
I
Which
do not remember. Maybe you have it there. Was Extremely Goofy Movie theatrical, or was that straight to DVD?
I believe it was theatrical, but I don't have it here. Do you prefer extremely
Right.
goofy movie or goofy movie? I will judge you based on your answer.
Well, the one I watched more as a
Ooh.
child was Extremely.
Okay, okay,
And
okay.
I think maybe that's because as a little 5-year-old, I related more to Goofy has to win the X Games
Hmm.
than Goofy needs to reconnect with his son on a sad road trip.
True, true, true.
But they're both great. I
They
don't
are
know if
both
I can
good.
really pick. What would you say?
Goofy movie.
Oh, the first one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because literally just because of Eye to Eye.
Oh, well, okay.
Like what
Okay,
else?
yeah.
Like what is one thing in extremely goofy movie that stacks out? Not that extremely goofy movie is a bad movie. I love it. Would watch it literally right now if you want to. But what's one thing that stacks up to that concert? Nothing. Ain't nothing.
Um, Goofy doing studying while exercising.
You got the perfect cast. You got you got Eye to Eye. You got Max having a crush. You've got, is that the one with the leaning tower of pizza cheese? I
Yeah,
genuinely
Leaning
don't know.
Tower of Cheese. Yeah, Pauly Shore. He's in both, though, to
He
be
is in
fair.
both, but he hooks up or whatever with a like weird goth girl in the second one. So
No, that's Pete. That's or PJ.
oh, they get
Pete's
together.
son.
I just remember them being at the like
No,
poetry
Goth. The
reading.
poetry slam girl loves fat dudes, and that's what gives
Mm,
us all hope.
good.
That's what gave us hope as children then and young men now, old men now. Sorry, we're not young anymore.
So Skyler, I'm gonna play a brief game with you here because I have the
Oh,
top
please do.
5 movies, and I honestly would be surprised if you knew what 2 of them are. So
Okay.
what I'm gonna do is give you the top 5 in a random order, and you're gonna tell me them back in the order that you believe they are.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
I
We
maybe.
if you need to know what the movies are, I will tell you. If you don't, I won't.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
We have Reindeer Games, previously mentioned Reindeer Games. We have Pitch
All right.
Black.
Oh, I know what that movie is.
We have Hanging Up.
Hanging Up. I don't know what that one is.
It is Diane Keaton, Meg Ryan, and Lisa Kudrow reconnecting over the fact that their dad is dying and none of them care that he's dying. It is an early version of Jeanette McCurdy's book about her mom dying.
Oh.
I guess also for people listening, I should probably say Pitch Black is a Riddick movie. It's the like second
It's the yeah.
Chronicles of Riddick movie.
It's the
Chronicles
first.
of
It's
Riddick
the
movie?
first one. Pitch
Oh,
Black
okay.
is the first one. It's
It's
Pitch Black, and then Chronicles of Riddick, and then Riddick, and
yeah,
then
because he's not the main
uh
character of this.
no, but Pitch Black is the good one.
Okay, then you have The Whole Nine Yards.
I know that one.
Okay,
That's Matthew Perry, Bruce Willis,
correct,
and other
correct.
people. And I'm not going to explain more than that, but I know that one.
It's the Matthew Perry lives with his wife, and Bruce Willis moves in next door, and then it turns out that he's like a famous hitman, and then hilarity ensues. I think it's like a comedy, kind of.
Yeah, and there was a sequel called The Whole 10 Yards, I think.
Wow, what a great name. And then number 5 is American Beauty.
Oh, okay, I know that one as well.
It's where Kevin
Maybe we don't.
Spacey.
Maybe we, I was gonna say maybe we don't talk about the cast on this
No,
one.
it's fine. Kevin Spacey wants to hook up with a younger girl. That's what the movie's about.
That's what the movie's about.
That's what the movie's about.
Captain Spicy wants to statutory. That's the man. We always start these episodes.
This is the second time
So
we talked about Captain
awfully.
Spicy. Isn't that crazy? For the same
He
movie,
comes
actually.
up a lot.
Yeah,
Comes
he's
up a
gonna
lot
in this
era.
time period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got your 5 movies. What is the order?
Okay, so we're talking about highest grossing,
Highest
box office,
grossing
or
in this particular week, the end of February.
in this particular week.
It is just the
and
money
in
made this
February.
week.
Also, not remembering when these movies came out, like how. Okay, well, American Beauty was like Best Picture winner, so I want to say that one was high. I want to say number one.
Okay.
Am I correct?
I'm not gonna tell you till I get the full list.
I have to do the full thing.
You gotta do
Okay.
the whole list.
Okay. Well, if that one's not number one, then Hold 9 Yards was because of the cast.
Makes sense.
Matthew Perry movie
So are you
in
saying that's number
2000.
2?
Well, I'm gonna put it at number two. Those two might be interchangeable.
Okay.
Riddick, or no, not Riddick. It's Pitch Black.
Pitch.
Pitch Black can't have. I mean, like it's regarded now. People are like, oh yeah, that's the movie with Riddick. But I don't know how it was doing then.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Oh, and then Lisa Kudrow has a phone. What did you say?
Lisa Kudrow, Diane Keaton, and Meg Ryan are hanging out because their dad's dying.
All right, those are all names people know, but it's a drama.
I
How
think
well
it's
do
also
dramas do?
partially a comedy.
It's a dramedy.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick that one at number four.
Okay, hanging up at number
Num
4.
Hanging up at number four. No, we're gonna put that one at number three.
Okay, I was gonna say, what did you put at 3?
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, so we have
American Beauty,
one,
Whole Nine
American
Yards,
Beauty, Whole
Hanging
Nine
Up.
Yards, hanging up. Then I'm gonna say Riddick. No, why do I keep saying that?
Because
Pitch
that's what it
Black,
is.
Pitch Black, and then Reindeer Games, and that's only speculative because people don't like it's a bad movie. So that's it. That's my list.
Okay. So, out of the 5,
Mm.
you did get 0 correct. But you were
My bracket's busted.
you were so close on multiple of them.
Okay.
Number 1 is the Whole 9 Yards.
I
So
see. I knew.
you said those were interchangeable, and you were
Mhm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is the one you're probably furthest off. Well, one of the two that you're furthest off by. It's number 2 is Reindeer Games.
People were really clamoring for that Ben Affleck robs a casino thing, huh?
Apparently so. Number
Alright.
3, and it was where you had it for a long time, was Pitch Black.
Damn.
So you didn't trust your gut and you moved that one. Number 4 was Hanging Up, where you put it on accident before you realized that you hadn't said a 3 yet.
No. I realized I was skipping one.
Oh, you did that on purpose. Okay.
Yeah. I went back.
Which means number 5 is American Beauty.
Back then, people knew. We don't trust this Kevin Spacey.
As an update from our previous episode, only 3 of the movies that were on the top 5 last time are still in theaters, it seems like. Scream 3 is now all the way down at number 8. The Green Mile is at number 10, and Galaxy Quest is number 11.
They knocked the King out of the top 10. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. In the world of music, also, tons of things happened. On February 8th, Three Doors Down released their debut album, The Better Life,
Ooh.
which features 2 songs that I think have stood the test of time, being one, Kryptonite,
That's the one that the radio stations still play every day.
and Be Like That. If I
Okay.
could be like that.
Yeah.
That one, yeah. Then on the 28th, Oasis put out Standing on the Shoulder of Giants, and I listened to the whole album, and it really doesn't have any songs that are like great. There's one that was a standout in terms of how much money it made, and it would Go Let It Out. I don't know. It was kind of a nothing album. It was their 4th.
You know
I
what's
think.
interesting? What's interesting about Oasis?
Yeah.
A band that people know, people very big fans
Yeah,
of.
because of Wonderwall.
But are they as big in the States as England says they are? Because
No.
over there,
They're-
they were, at least amongst some, I can't speak for all British people,
Mhm.
but they were regarded as like the second coming of the Beatles.
I think Oasis is what the UK thinks Robbie Williams is.
Hey, I watched that movie and it was pretty good.
I don't believe you, but I'm glad that you had fun.
You don't believe that I watched it, or you don't believe it was good?
I don't believe it was good.
It was.
I know
It was
that you
good.
will watch anything.
It was the director. It was the director of The Greatest Showman. so-
Okay, maybe it was okay then.
Yeah. Very theatrical.
I do like that a lot. On the 28th, also,
Plus, he's a monkey. Go ahead.
he is a monkey. Also on the 28th, AC/DC released Stiff Upper Lip,
hmm
which was also not one of their more acclaimed albums. It really only had 2 that looked like they won awards. One was the title song, Stiff Upper Lip, and the other one was Satellite Blues.
I don't know too many people that had this poster on their walls.
Yeah, except for you.
No, I did have an AC/DC poster, but it wasn't this one.
It was the black one, I assume.
No, I don't remember.
On the 29th, Steely Dan also released an album called Two Against Nature that I listened to the whole thing of, and it was really bad.
You don't fuck with Steely Dan.
You know, the thing is, I kind of do sometimes. Like, I've heard Steely Dan
Yeah.
songs that I really like. This album was bad. Two Against Nature is a bad album. On the 23rd, we're going back a little bit, there was the 42nd Grammy Awards. It was hosted by Rosie O'Donnell,
Oh yeah, famous musician.
famous musician Rosie O'Donnell. There were a lot of
She did.
presenters.
She did have what I can assume was a somewhat popular song around this time.
The Tarzan one.
Yeah.
She makes a joke about it. I watched these
Oh
Grammys. She makes a joke about it.
man, so we are at a disadvantage here because you're like, here's what happened. I listened to this album. I watched this Grammys. You don't tell me shit before we record these.
Well, I mean, one of us has to hear it for the first time.
That's fair, and I probably wouldn't have watched them.
That's fair.
I certainly wouldn't have
That's
watched
definitely
them.
true. You haven't even watched the things that we're supposed to talk about tomorrow.
That's a different show. That's none of our business.
That's
That's
fine.
for
That's
some other
true.
guy to worry about.
The big winner of the night was Santana. He won.
Yeah.
He is listed as having won 8 Grammys, but I counted through it and I think it's 9. So I don't know which of these doesn't count. But either way, he's credited as winning 8 Grammys, which ties Michael Jackson's record for most in a single night. The ones he won was Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Pop Performance from a Duo or Group with Vocals, Best Pop Collaboration, Best Pop Instrumental Performance, Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals, Best Rock Instrumental Performance, Best Rock Album. I don't know which one of those doesn't count. I guess one of them was credited to somebody else because maybe he was the feature instead of... I don't know. I couldn't tell. This was all... He didn't go on stage for almost any of these. So... Hard to say. The only other like big notable winner of the night, in terms of like historical things happening, was that Christina Aguilera won for Best New Artist. So we were at the beginning of the Christina Aguilera experience. The Billboard Top 5 right now on this week. I'm not gonna play the same game with you because you are very knowledgeable about movies, but maybe less so about niche songs from the 2000s. Number 1 is Amazed by Lone Star. This is probably a song that you know, but don't know by name.
Yeah, definitely. What is it?
It's the one that goes, I don't know how you do what you do. I'm so in love with you. Yeah, is that one.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like a really
alright.
popular song, but I don't know any of their other music, so they might be a one-hit wonder. I don't know. But it's clearly like their biggest song, and it's the number 1 at this time.
By you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
got you. I'm there now.
There we go. Number 2, still a full month later from where we have been. It is still I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden. Still.
Alright.
And I'll be
Still.
honest with you, I've listened to this song multiple times now. It's not that good. Like, it's okay.
No, it hit different back then.
I guess so. It is, to be fair, February, so probably a lot of the love things coming out makes sense. But, like, still? I also haven't mentioned yet, we've talked about, this has been number 1 or high on the ranking for, I think, the last, at least 2, maybe 3 of these that we've done. And I've never mentioned that in the music video of this, the lead singer is low-key, like, stalking a famous Hollywood celebrity. And it is Kirsten Dunst.
Oh.
The whole music video is Kirsten Dunst and the lead singer on a subway, and he is just, like, fully staring into her eyes and singing the song for like the entire runtime. It's aggressive. It feels aggressive, especially because the lines of the song are like it's like I think I loved you before I knew you, and then he's like, I think I created you. Like, I forget the exact lyrics, but it's like, I don't know. He's basically like, I think I dreamed you into life is I think one of the sentences, one of the lyrics.
That's some heavy shit,
It's
man. I mean,
creepy.
you can think that, but don't say it.
Yeah. Number 3 is Breathe by Faith Hill.
Also, don't think it.
Yeah, don't think it.
Faith Hill.
Faith Hill, a musician that you do not know, but is very popular at the time.
No.
We talked about her before, and you were like, I don't know who this is.
No, that's absolutely not true. I know who Faith Hill is.
You didn't know that. I remember specifically that you made fun of me for knowing Breathe because you were like, you know this because you have sisters, and you were right, but still.
Oh, well, the song.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
duh. But I know who Faith Hill is.
I guess that makes sense. Number 4 is a song that I also didn't care for. It is Thank God I Found You by Mariah Carey. I don't know, it's kind of nothing. And then number 5, it's the winner, Maria Maria by Santana. There we go. In the world of sports, there was a WWF at the time still, a pay-per-view called No Way Out, which was not No Mercy. Different pay-per-views, it turns out. And there were a bunch of matches in it. I didn't watch this, but the big takeaway from it is that the main event was that Triple H beat Cactus Jack and retired him. So no more Cactus Jack for the WWF at least. I think he still wrestled quite a bit afterwards in other places, but I guess that
He
was his
he did a stint as like commissioner in like right after he
right.
was retired from wrestling, and then he went and did various other places such as like Ring of Honor, and then he would obviously come back to WWE multiple times. He was in and out. Did TNA stuff for a while.
Makes sense. Also in the world
All right.
between The Sims and this, a couple of exciting things happened. Exciting is not the right word for the first one though, because on February 12th, the creator of Peanuts, Charles Schultz, did pass away.
Oh.
So a sad time. I believe the final Peanuts comic came out the day after he passed, and then they just started. There was a period where there was none, and then they started over and just started putting them out again.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe there were ever any new ones. Charles Schultz is the only one to have ever created Peanuts comics.
Yeah, and then whatever other creative forces just did cartoons or movies or whatever.
Yeah. On the 17th of February, Microsoft released Windows 2000, and it swept
Oh
the
boy.
nation as the de facto operating system post Y2K.
We've entered the digital age.
On the 26th, a cartoon that I remember fondly, but I don't know if anyone else will remember at all, called The Weekenders premiered.
Oh, okay. I was gonna jokingly say something else, but no, I remember the Weekenders.
It was one
I'm
of
I'm living for the weekend, in fact.
hell yeah, hell yeah. The most exciting thing about this day in particular, February 29th of the year 2000, is that you'll note that February 29th is not a date that exists most years.
Mm-hmm.
This is a leap year.
Was a leap year.
But beyond that, it is a century leap year. It is the February 29th, 2000 was a rare century leap year. It is the only one since the year 1600, which means it is only the second one to have occurred since the adoption of the Gregorian calendar.
So, okay, so every 400 years it would be.
Yes, so the next
We
one will be
get
in 2400.
wow, wow, and we'll be alive to see it. We'll still be here.
Yeah, yeah. Hook me up to the give up machine. I'll be a robot. Why not? But another thing that happened on the 29th was that Dead or Alive came out. A very highly critically acclaimed fighting game. It has a 91 on Metacritic, and it had a 34 out of 40 from Famitsu, which is basically just Japanese Metacritic. So it is very highly critically acclaimed, and I'm going to assume that you did not love it because you texted me just a little behind the scenes. You texted me like a day after you started playing it, and you're like, "I've done everything I'm gonna do with this game."
Oh,
You were like, "I'm done with
okay.
this."
No, I can see why you'd think that
Okay.
because as stated at the top of this episode, neither of us are super proficient in fighting games. I enjoy fighting games every now and again. Definitely not competitively. I'm not playing versus anybody. I don't want to do that. I don't want to commit enough time to be able to do that. Nor do I even know if I would have the skill if I did. But like, a fun fighting game, pick up, play on not the hardest difficulty, go through story. I always love fighting in characters. Um, uh, some of the women in this one are a bit more scantily clad than they need to be, but that
Yeah.
doesn't bother me per se.
Mostly
Um,
in their alternate costumes, but we'll talk about that.
yeah. Well, Tina's like first costume is a bit crazy. I,
Yeah.
I feel like I
Yeah.
feel like Tina is the go-to one on the roster to be sexualized.
Seems like it.
But no, I liked this game. The reason I texted you, hey, I'll be ready to talk about it like soon, is because like in the first day I'd already unlocked all the characters.
Oh, all of them?
Yeah. Well, so like the version we're playing, there were only three to unlock.
Right. So we
And
played, for the audience, we played Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, which is the
mhm.
I think the easiest one to access at this point. It's the version that was later released on Xbox. This
It
is
was only
largely
released like a year later, right? Like a year or two.
no, it was a
It's
couple
not
of
like it was.
years, but it doesn't have like basically any differences in terms of our concerns because its biggest difference was that it had online play, but that online play has been shut down, so we didn't get that anyway. Um, the differences between the original Dead or Alive 2 and our version are that our version did not have English voice acting, and the original version had that by default. Ultimate has a bunch of extra costumes and stages. It also has just like updated visuals. There's some like more like there's that one safari map and there's animals running around in the back. That's apparently not the case in the original versions.
What
Um,
did you say was the language by default?
our version had like Japanese voice acting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I noticed that. I
yeah.
thought you were saying that it had English. I was
No,
like,
the
that's
original
not what I
version,
played.
the Dead or Alive 2 on PS2, the US version had English voice acting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, it also added Hitomi from Dead or Alive 3 as a playable character, but you had to have save data from 3 to get her, I believe. And then
Uh,
it added
yeah,
that
well,
absolutely
the,
unhinged intro video that we will talk about very soon.
yeah. So for Hitomi, originally you did have to have save data from Dead or Alive 3, but for whatever purpose, I don't know if it's because we're playing it on Xbox digitally.
We're time walking.
But I unlocked her just by doing the other part to unlock her.
I don't even know. Beat the story with one of the people
I don't remember what that one was specifically. You have to beat the story as everybody.
to unlock Tengu.
And then yeah, then there was some stuff you had to do or
Well, while you look
alive.
that up, let
Man.
me read to you because I think it's hilarious. The blurb that was on the back of the box, because
Okay.
I think it's great. It reads as follows: Sit down, shut up, and play. This is real fighting action. Sexy and edgy. It's hardcore for sure. Let the fighters of Dead or Alive 2 take you to places you've only dreamed of. But don't get too close to these beauties, because they're capable of turning on you in an instant, leaving you
Yeah.
battered,
All right.
bruised, and asking for more. Drool over lush backgrounds, meticulously detailed with the most advanced techniques in lighting and texturing ever seen. And then it just talks about like the thing, but it's like it's super horny. And the thing about it is, one of my things going into this was like I know Dead or Alive primarily because of the memes of it being a sexy volleyball game.
Yeah,
This game's
the
not.
extreme beach volleyball.
This game's not that. Like, it not only does not have the volleyball,
No.
this is strictly a fighting game, but also it's not that sexy or really even all that sexualized. I don't think. Like, there's
No.
girls who are scantily clad, but A, there's only like 4 girls in the whole game,
Yeah.
and B, 2 of them
There's
are completely dressed the whole time.
mhm. There's certain characters that dress a bit more sexy than others, but
Call them by
yeah,
their
no,
names. It's
it's
Tina and Kasumi.
okay. Yes. But I mean, not even necessarily more scantily clad than like Mortal Kombat.
No.
I mean, there was boobs all over the place in Mortal Kombat for a while. Not anymore, but
Yeah. Now this does add jiggle physics, which are
there's a bit of
present
that.
and a little
Yeah.
aggressive, but
But again, if you're like already used to watching anime
okay.
and stuff, like
Was
that
concerned about where that
happens.
sentence was going to end. But yeah, no, that's fair. Uh,
Normal anime.
normal Crunchyroll anime, definitely not on any other illicit sites. Uh, yeah, like the jiggle physics in this, which is just the boobs moving. It's honestly more funny than sexy because it doesn't look right.
No, it's like,
It's insane.
super old graphics.
Yeah, so it's not like it's even attractive. It's just like wow, what's going on there? And they don't move as much as like you would think to be like offended by it. Which I don't know. I got a 91 on Metacritic, so clearly people weren't that offended by it. But whatever. My general take on this game is I think the fighting is like very high impact. When you hit
Yeah.
people, like it feels good.
Yeah.
Um, but what I will also say is like I didn't have a ton of fun playing it.
Oh, you didn't?
Not really. I think it was
Uh,
fine, but like I found myself annoyed fairly regularly.
I wasn't annoyed. I think I had fun playing it. I enjoyed how it controlled. I liked the swooping camera movements. It does that thing where like you're in a 3D space, so you can go multiple directions, and if you turn the right way and then punch this guy, he'll fall off a bridge or down the cliff or whatever. I
Yeah.
think that was super cool. I don't know enough about fighting game history to say what was the first game to do that.
This has to be up there though. It has to be
It's
like
gotta be, it's
first
gotta be
five,
close.
first
You
10.
would think.
Yeah.
What I do know, the small amount of research that I did do, is that as far as like fighting game chronology, like what series started first. So the first Street Fighter came out in 1987,
Uh,
first Mortal Kombat in 1992, the first Tekken in 1994. Technically, the first Marvel vs. Capcom, which was X-Men versus Street Fighter,
mm,
that came out in 96. And that's the same year that the first Dead or Alive came out, 1996.
neat.
So this is like, and that's obviously not all of them. I left out what's that one?
Soul
World of
Calibur,
Fighters. Soul Calibur, I left that out too.
Virtua
Um,
Fighter, King of
uh,
Fighters. I think you
but
said
yeah, it's just in the sense of like well-known fighting games. This one is
it's up there.
later to the party. And yeah, but yeah, I thought it controlled well. I thought it looked pretty cool. I enjoyed some of the characters. They do not, I mean, there's story here. They do not give a shit to clue you
They
in.
don't tell
There's
you it
just
at all. Yeah.
stuff's happening, and you have to piece together. And then I guess games later fill in the gaps. As someone new to the series jumping in here, I'm just like, I don't
Yeah.
know what the hell. I mean, there's like a whole clone story, an
Yeah.
amnesia
Which, if
story,
this is the one
a,
you're playing, it's
a
literally just
father-daughter
like,
story.
yeah, you just get to one stage and there's just like a bunch of tubes in the background with little naked Kasumis floating around in
Hmm.
it, and you're like, wait,
Hmm.
what? What the
Hmm.
hell's happening?
It could be normal.
And then if you, yeah, who
That
knows? Who's
could
to
that
say?
could be par for the course
And,
here.
and then if you get to that stage as Kasumi, then like in her story mode, then you fight a clone of Kasumi.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Um.
yeah, I don't know.
And there's one character that like I was playing this at one point with my brother. Not against him because he'd school me, and I don't want to do that. But there was like one character that called the old man. What was his name?
Genfu, the Chinese guy,
Yeah, Genfu. There, the Italian hitman guy called him.
Leon. Yeah,
Yeah, Leon called Genfu grandfather,
yeah.
and so my brother was like, "Oh, I guess they're related." And then I was like, "No, I think that's a translation error."
It's not. He's just calling him old. He's calling him like
Yeah,
grandpa.
yeah, that's what I
Um,
mean. Like it's supposed to read like Gramps, but they translated it literally.
yeah, they are not related. Leon is a weird character because
Yeah,
I was looking into him because I'm like, oh, is he like Middle Eastern? Because he's wearing a turban for,
it says he's Italian on the page.
he's Italian. Well, okay, he's Italian and his fighting style is Russian martial arts. So
Yeah,
he's like super white.
yeah,
But
okay.
the only cutaways that we get of him, and I think this is the only game where he's playable, if I remember right from a video that I watched. He like travels the world, and so I guess maybe the most recent place that he was like somewhere in the Middle East, and so he ended up walking away wearing a turban or something. But his
Uh,
like girlfriend dies, and she's like, my boyfriend or husband or whatever is the strongest man, and so he joins the Dead or Alive tournament to like make her dying words true, I guess.
right.
It's weird. It's weird and like definitely cultural appropriation on his part, but whatever.
Oh, I finally found what it takes to unlock Hitomi, which is why I didn't remember it because it's so nothing. You just have to beat the story mode on normal with Ein.
Oh yeah, I didn't play as Ein.
Kasumi's amnesia brother
Yeah,
with a different name.
yeah. So his name is actually Hayate, but
Yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
is Ein in this because he doesn't remember who he is. Yeah, no, I only played story mode with a couple of the characters because I was like, I get it, like whatever, I
Mhm.
understand. So I played it as Ryu, Kasumi, Tina, Leon, Helena, and Jann Lee. Those are the only ones I played as. And I'm assuming since you unlocked everybody that you beat the story with everybody.
Yeah, so you unlock one character. It's weird because it has it listed here differently, but you unlock
I unlocked,
Tengu, I think,
yeah, you unlock
by
Tengu,
playing.
all of them.
You play the story on all of them, or and then you unlock another character just by playing for 6 hours.
I don't know if that's correct because I unlocked the third one we haven't talked about is Bayman. He's the only
Yeah,
the third one to unlock. I unlocked him by beating Leon's story.
that's weird. Why are you
Yeah.
sure that might have been this? Did you play for 6 hours?
I don't know if I don't think I did.
It
Certainly not at
it
that point because
says
he was the second person
it's.
I played as.
Did you leave the game open because
No,
sitting on the menu counts and it has a timer?
no, no. I
Okay.
sat down and did the story mode twice and unlocked him.
No matter what, if we're just stupid, I unlocked the three. So,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, it's pretty easy to clear most of these fights until you get to Tengu and he just whips your ass for
Tengu
about
sucks
an
ass.
hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tengu's awful. It is one of the worst last bosses of a fighting game story that I've played. Because first of all he comes out of fucking nowhere. So everyone else that you
Yeah.
play, every other character in this game is by and large just a person. Like
Hmm.
you know, Zack has a weird costume where he turns into an alien, but he's not really an alien. He's just a guy who does boxing and is super horny all the
And
time.
he's very weird. Yeah.
But like all the other characters are like ninjas and
Yeah.
professional wrestlers and like an
Yep.
opera singer or something. And then all of a sudden Tengu shows up and he is a demon released from hell named
Yeah.
Bonkotsubo,
Yep.
who is not even related really to the tournament. He's not like in charge of the Dead or Alive tournament. He's just for some reason in it. And you just have to fight him at the end, and the fight is terrible.
The fight is tough. I mean, probably not for people who are very, very, very good at fighting games, but it kicked my ass. I mean, obviously, I did it multiple times to unlock the characters, but yeah, he's a bit of a trial. And
It's
then the story reason for him being there was just, oh man, I don't remember. I looked it up. I vaguely remember. Uh, Someone pissed off Hell, so the Tengu came out and he just started terrorizing shit. And so the Dead or Alive tournament happened, and then Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden killed him, and then they were like, "All right, you're the winner." That's the story of this game, I guess.
it. So that's not the story that I found. Do you want me to run through the story that I found?
Hit me with what you read. We're reading two separate
Yeah,
stuff about this game.
apparently. So here's the story that I found. So the game opens up with that crazy intro video.
Dream On by Aerosmith.
It's playing "Dream On" by Aerosmith over the backstory of Kasumi and Ayane and
That's
Hayate, who are I
that's
guess the main characters of the franchise.
It's exclusive to the Ultimate, as we said.
Yeah,
And Kasumi is the mascot of the series, is what I learned.
yeah.
She is the one. She's the winner of the tournament in the first
It's
game.
in the first one. Yeah, I almost said season one, but that's not exactly
Well, yeah,
how
she's
it
the
works.
winner of season one.
Yeah, she is the Richard Hatch of the Dead or Alive tournament.
Mm.
Um, so here's the story as per the best I could figure by looking at multiple sites. So it is important to know that there's a lot of the story revolves around this ninja clan called the Mugen Tenshin clan. They have two parts. That's the Tenjinmon clan. That it's like the ruling class. They're like the one that people know exists. And then there's the Hanjinmon sect that is like the quote unquote real ninjas, and they're the ones that like hide in the shadows and do all the grunt work and do the murder.
Right. Kasumi is from the rich one, and Ayane is from the poor one.
Yeah, well, they're actually both from the rich one originally, but
Uh,
we'll get into that.
it might have been retcons. I don't remember. But what I know is Kasumi's all cool and rich and popular, and Ayane is small and shitty. And then here's a do we say content warning?
I mean, do you want me to
Uh,
just like tell you what happens, or do you want to guess?
well, no, I'm not guessing. I know some stuff. There's the content warning is there's some non-con here.
Uh huh.
Some non-consensual stuff happens, and Ayane was the product of it.
Yeah. So okay, so the leader of the front-facing ruling class, the Tenjinmon sect, he has two sons who are Raido and Shiden, and Raido's a huge dick, and
He's
Shiden's
in
a
the
good
first game.
guy. Yeah, Raido's like the final boss of the first game. And he's a huge dick, and so the leader kicks him out and makes the other brother, the good brother, the leader instead. So he gets pissed and he like travels the world for a long time, and then he gets the power of Skyler from Heroes, where he can steal other people's powers but just like by watching them instead of cutting their
Cutting
heads
their
open.
brains open. Okay.
Shiden gets taught this like ancient technique called the torn sky blast, which is basically just you can shoot lightning, which is not a move that you can do in the game as far as I can tell. I don't know. It's just like a thing. Whatever. Shiden gets taught that. Raido doesn't because he got thrown out, and he's like pissed about it because he's like, "That's my birthright. I want to know about the whatever." Anyway, tons of years pass. Shiden marries a character named Ayame, who is not Ayane, and has two kids with her, who are Hayate and Kasumi. Kasumi is the mascot character who we've talked about earlier, and Hayate is some milquetoast dude. Raido comes back like after those two have aged a bit, and he does sexually assault Ayame and impregnate her, and they keep it, and that baby is Ayane, who is the purple-haired ninja from Dead or Alive. So now there's these three kids who don't know that they're related to, like, Hayate and Kasumi don't know that they're related to Ayane. And Ayane gets, like, after a little while, gets banished, basically, to the Hanjinmon clan to, like, go be a fighter. But then they become friends somehow and, like, get raised together and hang out and are besties up until the point where Ayame's like, oh, by the way, you guys are sisters. And then Ayane gets super jealous because she's like, well, Kasumi got raised as a princess and I had to go kill dudes.
Yeah.
So that sucks for me.
It does.
And then,
it does suck for her.
And it does suck for her, for sure. And then Raido comes back to the Tenjinmon temple, town, whatever, village, again, when Hayate and Kasumi are, like, adults, sort of. And now, because Hayate is becoming the leader of the clan, he now knows the Torn Sky Blast, and he tries to use it against Raido, but Raido, like, Uno reverses it and hits it back at him. There's a big explosion. Hayate gets folded like a lawn chair and slams into a tree and breaks his back and goes into a coma. So then Kasumi gets pissed, and she runs off to try and track down Raido, who's competing in the first tournament. And Ayane gets told by her leadership, like, you gotta go kill Kasumi. And Ayane's like, yeah, I hate that bitch. And so she goes off to do that. So now they're mortal rivals. And they're competing in the tournament from the first game. And a lot of nothing happens, it seems like. It takes place on a cruise ship. All of this leads up to, we're gonna go and have a fist fight on a cruise ship with our dad, with our step uncle.
Is it like Money Plane?
I couldn't tell you.
We're allowed to do this because we're in international waters.
I don't know, probably. But Raido is acting as the bodyguard for this guy called Fame Douglas, who is the CEO of a company called Doa Tech, which is Dead or Alive Tech. They're the company that runs the Dead or Alive tournament that the game is like centralized around.
Yeah.
Kasumi's like, okay, well, I got to win this tournament so that I can fight Raido, so that I can kill him. And then that happens. Like, all of the story happens before the tournament, and then the tournament is like, and then she does it.
Cool.
And that's the first game, right? Yeah. And in the middle there, the only other thing that happens is that there's this guy, Bayman, who is hired to kill Fame Douglas, and he does.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess in the defense of a fighting game, specifically the one we're talking about at the moment, is came out in '96. Like the lore and the backstory, it's all just like backdrop for you to come in and be like, okay, this character's cool. What's their deal? And then presumably there's magazines or pamphlets or whatever where you can learn this kind of stuff and be like, okay, I like to main this character and this is their story. That's why this is before the era where the game includes the story in it. It's neat. There's some cool guys in here. And now Fame Douglas is the father of Helena.
Yeah.
A French opera singer whose mother was assassinated by a sniper who was trying to hit Helena, but didn't. It hit the mom instead because she saw the sniper and got in the way. Mm-hmm. And I think Helena gets her revenge in like game 4, not here.
Yeah, probably. But like in this game, the only time we see that is in Helena's story mode.
When you play, so you get a flashback
when you're fighting Ayane, and she's like, "Hey, did you kill my mom?" And Ayane's like, "Bitch, maybe," but she didn't.
That's true.
So she's just being an asshole because I guess Ayane's the worst.
Well, she's just mad. Genfu's story, I like his story. Where he's just like a old bookstore owner who only enters tournaments so that he can pay for his granddaughter's medical treatment. And then apparently by the game 4, I guess game 4 is where the story really starts to progress or happen or be
Hmm.
talked about. But by game 4, he doesn't have to do it anymore because his granddaughter's all better.
Good. So he just isn't a playable character anymore, I guess.
Well, he's replaced by a different character who he's like the trainer of. He's like, I did this, and now I'll train you, and you can go do it. I'm not gonna
So,
do it anymore.
so who were you maining, and what did you mostly play the story mode, or did you mess around with the other modes?
I did the story. I didn't really mess with anything else too much. I know you can do like the survival mode and unlock a bunch of stuff. I unlocked an onigiri. I was like, all right, I got the onigiri, and I'm done.
Pretty cute, pretty cute.
Um, Maining, I don't. I mean, okay, well, okay. I don't know if I could say that I mained any one person regularly, but I could tell you who I picked first. As soon as I saw a professional wrestler, I picked Tina.
You could have also
'Cause
picked her dad, who's also a
I
professional
do.
wrestler.
I also enjoyed playing as him.
As
And I learned
Basso.
something. I learned something about his name and
Yeah,
how to say it.
yeah.
So, I started playing, and I'm like, okay, his name is spelled Bass.
Hmm.
And I was like, is that bass or
Hmm.
is that bass? And I was like, how do I say this guy's name? And I was looking online, and it wasn't necessarily a very easy answer to find, but I did find that the answer was neither of those ways.
Well,
Um,
I debate this, but go on.
well, so from what I can tell, he's named after two of the three astronauts in the Apollo 11 mission. So Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong.
Hmm.
So his name is supposed to be Armstrong. Buzz Armstrong.
Armstrong. Yeah.
And because of a translation error or just how you say like Buzzu in Romanji or whatever it is, that's just how they spelt it.
Yeah. The thing is, like, no matter what they intended for his name to be, there's
Hmm.
been 6 games and they haven't fixed it. His name is
Hmm.
Baz.
Okay. No,
like,
that's fair.
like you found out with game 1 that it was wrong from how you wanted it to be, probably,
Yeah.
and you didn't fix it. You decided that his name is still just Baz. So
I mean, at theory, some point, somewhere, an English voice actor says his name out loud, right?
yeah, you would hope so.
I mean, I guess we'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
no. So, for the sake of just this video and not sounding awkward saying what it doesn't say, if people call, I'm
Yeah.
gonna call him Bass. I'm gonna call him Bass Armstrong for this video. I've already said the whole thing of how it's
Yeah.
whatever, but I'm gonna call him Bass.
We've avoided
And
one
so
comment from a
no.
very
Oh,
angry
all right.
man.
We'll edit that out. We need the engagement.
Oh, damn,
No.
you're right.
So Bass and Tina are both professional wrestlers. They are father and son, and their
Son?
story, or father and daughter. Excuse me. Cut out my misgendering of Tina. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Um,
She's
their
hot,
father
so it's
daughter,
okay.
and he wants her to be a prim and proper lady, but she wants to like wear bikinis and do big wrestling, and he's mad about that, and that's their whole story.
Well, but I'm also confused by that though, because it seems like she doesn't want to be a wrestler anymore, because she wants to like become a fashionista or something. Because like when you win her story mode,
Oh yeah.
she like
I
ends up
think
on a catwalk.
Yeah, I think he's mostly just angry that she's sexy.
Yeah,
He's like, "Stop being sexy, you're my daughter." He still pictures the little girl,
yeah,
and she's like, "Too late. I'm sexy." And so he puts a pinup of her in his apartment because he's weird.
yeah. Well, and he's kind of right, because the only other like person who gets a specific intro during Tina's
Oh,
storyline is
local
Zach.
sex pest.
Is local sex pest Zach, who is also like the host of the volleyball tournament in the later game. Spoilers.
Yeah, he owns the Okay. This
Uh,
is this is going to be weird to say in 2025. He owns the island
oh,
that the volleyball tournament happens
Zach
on.
Steen's Island, huh?
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
And then we talked about Leon. He's just a mercenary, I guess,
Leon's
who does
lame. He's
stuff.
like nothing.
Yeah. Then there's Jann Lee, who is like, I want to be the best fighter. I mean, every game has one of those.
Hey, let me just throw this out there. I like a lot of
Yeah.
the characters in this.
Yeah.
I know the last two we've talked about, or the last one we talked about, I'm negative about.
Mhm.
Fuck Jann Lee.
Oh, okay.
Dude
Hit me
sucks
with it. Why?
ass.
All right.
The worst.
You don't like that he wants to be Bruce Lee?
I don't like that every second that you're fighting him, he's going.
Well, that's Bruce Lee though.
Bruce Lee can eat my ass then.
Oh my
Get me
goodness.
Jet Li.
Uh, and then
I'll take Spike Lee over Bruce Lee if he sounds like that shit.
okay, and then the and then the story of Lei Fang. She's a little Chinese girl that was almost beat up one time in an alley, but then Jann Lee saved her and was like, "All right, peace, kid." And then she was like, "I want to prove to that guy that I'm cool too." So she enters the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we talked about Ein, who was
It was
Kasumi's brother
Hayate.
who lost his memory. And then the last character is Ryu Hayabusa, and if you want to know his story, just
The
play Ninja
the
Gaiden.
Dragon Warrior. I don't know. It is weird. Didn't know. I knew he was in these games. I didn't know that the Dead or Alive took place in the same universe
See,
as Ninja Gaiden, which is
you know what's
insane.
funny? I didn't know he was in these games.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
booted it up and I was like, "Excuse me?" And I thought at
Is
first,
that the Dragon
I was
Ninja
like,
Ryu Hayabusa?
yeah, I was like, "Is this one of those things like, you know, they put very like weird DLC characters like Terminators in Mortal Kombat or
Geralt and Soul Calibur,
or Darth Vader in Soul Calibur?"
or
So it's like one of those
Link and
things. Like,
Soul Calibur.
come to find out, like, no, he just lives here too.
Yeah, he's
He
just it's the same
vacations in
universe.
Dead or Alive. Like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Well, because Kasumi, Ayane, and him are all Ninja Gaiden characters.
Mm.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a big Ninja Gaiden player either, so
I played one Ninja Gaiden game. So,
was Kasumi in that one?
no, actually.
Did she have jiggle physics?
Uh, so I mean, she wasn't in it, but Ayane did.
At least there's consistency.
Hey,
Um,
we gotta do
so
something.
yeah, the story is there, but you have to find it. You have to dig for it.
But you have to find it in like other games,
Yeah.
like because yeah, there's a lot going on.
There's there's some characters in here that I like and enjoy. Some that are like boring, whatever.
Yeah,
There's Tengu.
good old Tengu. I hate Tengu. I don't like his design, and I don't like fighting him. We didn't talk about specifically why his fight sucks ass. So his fight sucks ass because it's first of all it's an ugly arena where you can't really see very well, for a multitude of reasons. Because he is constantly changing the season. Like every time he hits
Yeah.
you, basically it changes to like, oh, and now it's
I
snowing, and now it's doing this.
I
And
do think that's cool.
it's a neat idea.
I wish that it wasn't happening while I was getting my ass handed to me, but
Yeah,
I think it looks cool.
it's a neat idea. In practice, it's super annoying and makes it impossible to see what you're doing because there's also this like crazy rippling effect that happens the whole time that is happening, and so you just can't see shit. And then God help you if he gets more than a couple feet away from you because he will just spam this tornado move over and over and over again until you're dead.
Oh yeah.
And you're just screwed.
It's one of those fights where if you get too far, he'll spam that. If you get too close, he will like counter grapple you all day long.
Yeah,
You really I mean in my experience as not a good fighting game player, beating him was as much luck as it was skill.
yeah,
Like you just
probably.
have to like catch him at the right moment.
My strategy for beating him was just to beat his ass so fast he couldn't do anything. That was the
Mhm.
entire strategy.
Yeah, you got to get that strong start.
So if you're a slow character, it's a nightmare. When I beat him as Leon, nightmare. But Jann Lee kind of broken. He beat his ass real fast. Jann
Oh,
Lee
see,
is
that
insane.
should be your boy.
No, fuck Jann Lee.
Just all right.
Jann Lee can eat my ass.
He's
If
gonna
Jann
win-
Lee never
he's gonna
shows up
win
in
the tournament
another
eventually.
Dead or Alive game, I'd be
He's
happy.
in all of them.
What a
He's
bastard.
in all of them.
I'll look forward to beating his ass in all the future ones then. No, I was primarily playing as Tina and Kasumi. Those were my mains.
Those are two good mains to have.
They were great. I started with Kasumi because I was like, she's the mascot. I'm gonna play as her. And then I switched to Tina because when I was going through like the move list, I was like, I don't know what any of these words mean. Jet Kundo, I don't know what that move is. I don't know how to know if I've done that move correctly. Suplex,
Right, but-
know what that is.
Yeah, you know suplexes and hurricane ranas, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I can. Now you're speaking my language.
I know what that is, so I can learn how to do these moves because I know what they
Yeah.
are. So that was pretty much
We
it.
both mained Tina then.
Yeah, she's great. She's my favorite character of the thing. I'm pretty confident.
If I had to give top three, I would say Tina would be number one. I thought Zach was fun.
I thought Zach was a
Like
sex pest.
when I first, he is a sex pest, but in a way that's not endearing or charming. But you're like, oh, look at that guy. Um, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna say top three. I'm just gonna say Tina was my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can say my top three because they were really the only three that I like really liked
Yeah,
playing as, and it was Tina, Kasumi, and Ryu.
Tina, Kasumi, Ryu. Yeah, I like Genfu as well.
Yeah, I actually didn't play as Genfu, so he might very well be great. I also didn't play as Bass. Those were the two that I didn't play as.
You gotta unlock Tengu and play as him.
No. I did play as
Okay.
Bayman, and he was like pretty fun. Except I kept wanting to call him Baymax, which is not the same guy.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's for me, it was like I like a lot of the characters. Some of the designs are like kind of boring. Like Lei Fang's design is like, it's the Chinese girl. Cool. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Because she's just wearing like a very standard Chinese dress. Some of the costumes. How many costumes did you unlock? Did you unlock like one for each? Because as you beat their story, or did you unlock a bunch of them? Because I
Yeah.
went through and
So
looked at all of the costumes. Some of
so
them are
you
crazy.
I did not look at all the costumes. I looked at the ones that I unlocked, which was kind of a handful. So at a certain point, I handed
Hmm.
the controller off to my brother, and I was like, "Go wild!" And he unlocked a bunch, and I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna look at all of these, I guess." But yeah, you unlock one or so for. I think it changes based on what difficulty you're playing on. Like you beat it once on a certain difficulty, or if you keep beating their story on a difficulty,
It gets harder.
like you get like five, and then you gotta go up like to another difficulty to like unlock five more or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot. When I saw how many costumes there were, I was like, no, no, no. I'm good just unlocking the
Yeah,
characters.
there are 137 costumes.
That's
Uh,
nuts.
and those costumes include Zack as an alien. We talked about that.
Hmm.
Tina
I saw
wearing
that one.
a sexy cat suit and
Yep, got
a
that one.
wrestling costume that I think is supposed to be based on Mickey James, but I'm not sure. Um, there's one for Kasumi where she dresses up as a Santa Claus, but it's like a
Oh,
sexy Santa Claus, like Mean
yeah,
Girls.
that happens. Yeah.
Helena has one where she's a belly dancer.
Oh,
Ein has one where he's in a prison, in the pants of a prison uniform, and has broken handcuffs, which is
yeah.
interesting.
I got that one. That's like the first one you unlock from him.
Bayman eventually gets a scuba suit
Hey.
with like the full tank and everything on his back.
So is Bayman just supposed to be like GI Joe themed?
I guess. And then Bass has a bunch that are just based on other wrestlers.
Yeah.
So he clearly takes a lot of inspiration from Macho Man. So he has one that's very clearly Macho Man.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
has
yeah.
several that I think are probably supposed to be based on the Legion of Doom, like Hawk
Okay.
and
He gets just like a generic big man singlet,
he does. That's his
kind of
first one.
like a big show or whatever.
Or, yeah. And then the most like very clear this is the inspiration is he gets one that's like it is one for one Terry Funk.
Okay, cool. I like
So
that.
so he gets a couple of really good ones. Which made me want to play as him, but at that point I was like, I've beaten the story like 6 times. Like I don't need to go back and do it another six. Like I get it. I don't know. I feel like there's not a ton to say about it about
I think
this
we've
game.
about covered everything. We're like,
Yeah.
here are the
Oh,
characters, here's the story, here's how it plays.
okay. Well, we didn't talk about the different modes. We should probably cover those real fast.
Okay,
So
go
there's
for
the
it.
story mode, which is basically just like you go through. I think it's like 6 or 7 fights, and then you unlock a costume at the end.
Yeah.
There's survival, where you just keep going until you lose, and then every time you beat somebody, they drop something, and you can collect it, and it goes into the like collection mode, which is kind of pointless, but like it's just a fun little thing you can do if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if we were
Um,
playing it like this just came out in 2000 on
yeah,
whatever we bought it for, it'd be
PS2,
like
I guess.
every day after school, try to see if we can get all the collectibles. That's something. Just because we're old and don't have time for it
the
doesn't mean
The highest I got was 7 in survival.
I
That was
don't
the highest I could
remember.
get.
I don't remember what I got.
There's tag battle, which is I think the one that they do more not professionally, but like in esports of this, because it's 2-on-2, and you can swap between the characters, and the one that you're not playing as heals in the background.
Okay,
That's the one that I see
nice.
getting played a lot. So maybe that's what they do like in future games, but also it's that's the one that's here. There's team battle, which is the same thing, but it's up to 7, and you can't swap between them. It's just like the different. You pick 7 different characters, and those are your 7 lives.
Hmm.
It's 7v7, and then it's just the online play that doesn't work anymore. The sparring room, and then there's one where you can just watch NPCs fight if you want to do that. There you go. There's Dead or Alive
Very
2
cool.
Ultimate. Skyler, what are your sort of closing thoughts and review score for Dead or Alive 2?
I think for a fighting game of this era, it was pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Not super like extensive in the amount of time I feel like I could play. Like we said at the start, I messaged you like the day after I started playing it, and I was like, I think I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And that's as someone who kind of enjoyed it. So, um, it's neat if you're like every once in a long while, like, oh yeah, I want to just like marathon some Dead or Alive games. I don't know if there's really necessity to do that, like if you just play the most recent one or the one you like most. But if you wanted
Yeah.
to like go back and just like boom, 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 play a bunch of Dead or Alive games, like yeah, I could see doing this, pulling this out every once in a while. I'm kind of stuck on my grade though. What do you want to jump in and say what you think of it?
Sure, yeah. So I'm in a very similar place to this as I was with The Sims, where I'm like, I think this is a really good attempt at what you're going for. I think that this is, I think that the fighting feels very impactful. I think that there's some interesting things going on, but I also feel like it's very shallow. I feel like there is not a lot to do.
Yeah.
Unless it is that game where you're just like, I'm going to play this against my friend constantly forever, then there's just not a lot to do here. And that's fine. And I understand that that's just like part of fighting games also, is that like the part of the fighting game that people want is to play against their friends constantly. Like that is the game. But going back and replaying this in 2025 where that's not really an option anymore, it's like, well, okay, it's kind of rough, buddy. Like there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Like I can't play this online against
Yeah.
like random people online. I think I could still do a versus you like over Xbox Live, but I couldn't like matchmake with random people
Maybe. Yeah.
uh,
You could definitely do it like
locally.
couch.
Yeah,
Yeah, local.
yeah. So it's like I think this is good. I think this is good. I think this is a good fighting game, and on our review score, our review grade, that makes it a 7. So I think it is a
Uh
perfect flat 7. I don't think because so as a reminder, our 10-point scale goes 10 is a masterpiece, 9 is amazing, 8 is great, 7 is good, 6 is okay, 5 is mediocre, 4 is bad, 3 is awful, 2 is painful, and 1 is unbearable. And basically where I come down on it is I'm like, I wouldn't say it's just okay. Like it does a lot really good, but I also would not ever say it was great. So I'm like, well, there it is. It's good. It is a good game. I played it and I went, yeah, that's good at what it does. But do I want to play it again? No.
yeah, I see where I was deliberating is between 7 or 7.5.
Oh, so we're like
Like that.
real close.
Yeah, yeah. Those were the 2 points that I was thinking.
Yeah.
Um
That's weird because I feel like I talked a lot more negative than you.
uh well, well, that's just who we are. You're the
Apparently
glass half
so.
empty and I'm the glass half full.
Not always. Hey,
Um
it switches. I think we were the exact opposite for Sims. So,
Actually, yeah, yeah, that one I
so
was. But yeah, so for those who remember,
mm,
I gave Mario Party 2 a 7.5. And
right.
the reason why I'm leaning towards giving Dead or Alive 2 just a 7 is the amount of time before I was like, all right, I'm done with this game.
Yeah.
Like it's enjoyable, it's tight, it controls nice, it's fun, but can I play it for multiple days in a row? I don't know that I can, which
Hmm.
is why I'm gonna give it the 7, which is a good score. And that's gonna be it for me. So I think this might be the first one where we've given it the same score.
It is. Yeah, this is the first time where we have given it the exact same score, which also means the aggregate score is a 7. That's the easiest math I've ever had to
Yes,
do.
7 out of 10.
And obviously it's the score I gave it as well. So I feel very good with it getting a 7. It's I feel like one of the things that I really wanted to do with our reviewing was like actually making use of the full scale, and I think we've only
Yeah.
gone below a 7. I've only gone below a 7 what, twice.
Our lowest aggregate score that we have is a 5.5,
Right,
and our highest aggregate is an 8.
is an 8, and
So
I think it's about
we're
right.
all around the same ballpark.
Yeah,
We will get to 2s and 1s eventually,
yeah, but
but we just haven't yet.
my point of saying this is because I feel like there's going to be some people who watch this and they're going to be like, oh well, like a 7 is it says it's good, but it's really not. And in general, that's correct. Like when you look at like an IGN or one of the bigger like publications, if they give something a 7, what they're saying it's good, but they don't really mean that. Like
Yeah.
they've sort of devalued what that number means. And
Yeah.
so I'm trying really hard to not do that. And
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think if you look purely based on like the wording of the score, I feel very confident that Dead or Alive 2 and The Sims are equivalently good, or like Dead or Alive 2 and Mario Party 2 are equivalently good at very different things,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously.
yeah. Well, so here's to put it in perspective. We both gave Dead or Alive 2 a 7. So far in our list for the year 2000, it's in third place.
Yeah,
So, I mean, consider that. I mean,
or
what we have to do,
fourth
to get
place.
some fourth place for the year 2000?
Oh, sorry, yeah, because you were not counting. Because
What do we
I
got?
have Banjo Kazooie has an aggregate of an 8. I
Oh,
have
Banjo-Kazooie was 1998.
That's true. Yeah, so you took that out for the sorry,
Yeah, I
you're
have them
right.
listed separate years.
Okay, I got you.
Um, what we need to do to get some perspective is we just need to play a
Bad
shit
games.
game.
Yeah.
We need to play a shit game, and we need to play a masterpiece. And so, like this is the standard, and that is the floor.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
think
like
we
it
have
getting a 7.
I think we have some masterpieces ahead of us, and I think we probably can find a couple of absolute trash fires as well.
There's one or two games that I'm very excited to play in the year 2000 lineup.
Yeah.
And hey, we could play the Grinch game, get that, see if that's like a 2 or a 3.
There's definitely some really bad ones that we'll get to. But hey, if you guys want to tell us all of your thoughts about the Dead or Alive series and how much you like the jiggle physics and hate us,
How much you love Tina.
how much you love Tina. And by the way, I do too. You can leave that comment on YouTube or Spotify. That's where the show is. If you're watching it on one place, we would appreciate it if you would also go on and subscribe and or follow us on the other one. We're very early and we need all the help that we can get. All the engagement we can get is very important at this stage, especially. You can follow the show on Twitter at rsr_pod. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG.
And you can follow me on Blue Sky at Skyler 8-bit.
Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end of this video. And if you're still here, play more games.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back